Yo, what is going on, Cover One Crew? Welcome back to the show. Everybody's doing good as always, man. Preseason is in the books, and the NFL season is right around the corner, so let's do a mock draft on this Sunday. Why not? Because it is good stuff. Before we get started, as always, go hit that draft guide, man. Couple weeks left. Get you started on the right note in your drafts to win those trophies, baby. And today we're going to be doing a 12-team mock draft, and I'll give a bonus to my boy Joey, who asked for an 8-team mock draft. Why not? We'll do both today and see what kind of teams we can get. So follow me into the draft room as we do a little mock draft on your Sunday. So let's try to do a perfect draft here on the turn. Pick number 12. We're doing 12-team full PPR, 14 rounds. We got rosters with only 2 wide receivers and 3 flex. Let's see what kind of team we can generate here. I know full PPR, everyone's going to go wideouts super early and often, but we see Sleeper kind of mix things up every now and then as they take some running backs early and often, man. See, for me, we're seeing very much all the time in 12-team leagues now, Christian McCaffrey is coming back to us on the turn, which I'm going to take. So here's the interesting situation. We can go, and I typically get my running back in my drafts, but in this situation, we can get a top-tier wide receiver to go with our running back 1. So I'll buck the trend on the turn on this one, where I could easily go a Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving, or Jonathan Taylor and feel very comfortable with it. But let's go a little Drake London in this situation. I think I don't have enough shares in my mock drafts on a Drake London, so why not do it that way this way? So now we can kind of mix and match how we're going down the board on the turn. We're going to see the long wait as always as we see how a lot of these wide receivers and running backs do go. Hopefully James Cook would fall to me. That would be nice. I do not take my quarterbacks that early. See, here's the situation when you're on the turn is that you do leave yourself hampered for those top-end running backs to double back when you're on the picks, 112 and then 113. We could easily get that. But Alvin Kamara is a good consolation prize with a Christian McCaffrey. I do not dislike it. But again, with CMC, you're going to have to hedge bet a little bit. Wide receiver is so deep. And the fact that I got Drake London, now is the time I'm going to come back and I'm going to double up on my running backs. While I would like to wait and get a Trevion Henderson, he will not come back to me. So let's just go a little Omarion Hampton, my dude, for these Chargers. We're seeing Najee Harris may come back with that eye issue. We say they're saying they're hopeful for him on week 1 to come back from that eye injury. It is one of those situations, but Hampton's going to be a lead back eventually in this Harbaugh system. We do know this. And I mean, we could even come back on the turn if Monty's there for me. And maybe Trey's going to be there. So I spoke too soon. Trey's right there for me. So now I get the best of both worlds. I get myself a little George Pickens, and then I come back with a Trevion Henderson as well. So the rookie running backs as my 3 and 4, I don't dislike whatsoever. These guys are loaded with talent, but you got to hedge bet if you are taking a Christian McCaffrey at any point in your draft. You're going to have to load up just in case. Even though we did see a lot of the players in San Francisco, like Trent Williams, discuss and say that he looks absolutely fantastic. He looks like the CMC of old, and that's great. We are so round 7, and I still don't have a quarterback. Now we got Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Herbert, Purdy. We can still wait, and I'm okay with getting a Jordan Love. Even though coming off of that thumb surgery, yes, a lot of people are going to say, nah, they're going to scoff at that and say, I don't want no part of a Jordan Love, and I understand that as well. Cooper Kupp right here I think is a very good one. Love me some Emeka Egbuka as well, especially with a Chris Godwin down the board. So at this point, you know what, especially where the running backs are, and I already have myself 4 running backs, I could easily go wide receiver and Stephon Diggs, man. The way that he's played so far in camp, I absolutely love it. But I don't think Cooper Kupp is done just yet. And then Jared Goff, he should be able to still put up massive amount of numbers. But Justin Herbert, to me, could have a monster season. But I just don't like the fact that they run the football so much. But with Keenan Allen and all them back, Herbert could be one of these dudes. Maybe we'll see what this offense in Detroit does do. Kyler Murray, I would love to do, but he just didn't run near enough. So for me, I'm going to talk myself into a Justin Herbert. Herbie in this situation, even though I could have waited for a Jordan Love, but it does scare me because Love did have that thumb surgery, and there could be some issues in that respect as well. So for me, I'm going to do it this way and go a Herbert, and I'm feeling very comfortable. You guys talking, okay, he had a bad season last year. overall, but he is a 5,000-yard passer in this league, so that's nothing to sneeze at as well. So now it's pick your poison time. Still don't have my tight end, but again, at this point, I'm going to wait. You got options like a Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz down the board. Bretton Strange is one of my sleeper tight ends. So at this point, if I'm not taking my tight ends early, I'm definitely going to wait as well. So 3 wide receivers. We got to stack some wide receivers in this situation, even though I do love a Javonte Williams as a low round running back one that could absolutely pay massive dividends for me. Feeling down for downs? We're always down for downs because as long as he gets over that hamstring injury now with Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies, we know what we can get potentially with a high-end PPR upside, and then I'm going to go with Javonte Williams as well. I absolutely love it. So we're talking about the Washington Commies, the Commanders Commies, and we're talking about what they're going to do in their running back situation. A lot of y'all discounting in Austin Eckler because B-Rob got traded to those 49ers. You definitely got to understand, man, Austin Eckler could be having a monster season of volume this year as well, and there Austin Eckler went right there at 11-7. So you guys, there's good appropriate value for that man to be had as well, especially in PPR leagues. So I definitely don't discount that fact. Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. I think if I wait any longer on tight ends, I might be, kicking myself later on, even though I do have a good roster overall at this point. McCaffrey, London, Kamara, Hampton, Pickens, Henderson, Trey, my dude, and then Cooper Kupp. Right now we can mix and match, but I think if I wait any longer, I will definitely regret it. Dallas Goedert, definitely at pick number 11 on the back end. I'm totally fine with that one. Najee, Tajay Spears, Rashad White with PPR. Sorry, Braylon Allen, dude. This guy, I just wonder if he's going to come back to me, as we do have wide receiver. We need some more wide receivers at this point. We only have the 4 of them. I'm going to talk myself into taking, what's his name, Braylon Allen at this point. I don't want to do that at this point, but we do need a wide receiver. Keenan Allen going back. I'll do the stack with a Justin Herbert. You can't hate that, man. At the late round value, okay, Keenan definitely has lost a step. We're going to understand that, and we're going to see that. But going back to the Welcy, and there goes the Braylon Allen. I should have did Braylon first before Keenan and then waited down the board, but that's okay. At least we understand it's not a massive issue, because eventually next year we're going to see the Braylon Allen show happen in New York, unless, Breece Hall gets 2,000 yards and they end up signing him here this offseason. But either way, I'm okay with it. We do got some good quality wide receivers. At this point, I don't take backup tight ends or backup quarterbacks in single leagues. Even in tight end premium leagues, I won't do it whatsoever. D-Hop still being extremely undervalued at this point. Dylan Sampson, he could be a good running back fill-in at this point. Ollie Gordon, you guys know he's my dude, and I told y'all, you know what, I'm just going to do it for fun. This is a mock draft. I'm going to go Ollie at that point. And I know a lot of y'all be like, why are you taking him so? I don't care. I'm taking Ollie at that point, and then we'll come back with a D-Hop. Yes, I understand D-Hop playing with a Lamar Jackson, but the TD upside could be massive. And if I'm snagging a D-Hop in the last round, it's all gravy. It's all money. Free money for me. Absolutely love the potential of a D-Hop in that Baltimore Ravens offense. Let's discuss what we did do with this team. Justin Herbert as my quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, running back 1, Alvin Kamara. Okay, it's on the older trend. I didn't like how that necessarily went, but it is what it is because I took Drake London at the 2.1. I could have bucked the trend and went running back. Could have had CMC, Josh Jacobs, and then still filled out my roster that much better. But at least I got a Drake London who should have a blow-up campaign, and then got it back with a George Pickens as my wide receiver 2. Absolutely love the potential point tallies. You got to understand, we're building for the aggregate in points, not just to get our certain positional groups, man. Dallas Goedert as my tight end. O'Marion Hampton, Trevion Henderson, rookie running backs as my running backs 3 and 4. Don't dislike that either. It may hurt me early on in the season, but as the season does wear on, I can absolutely trust these gentlemen. Cooper Kupp, I got a lot of aging wide receivers, but there still is something left in the tank for these guys, and especially playing with a Sam Darnold. Cooper Kupp should be very good, no question. Josh Downs, we're always down for Downs, and then Javonte Williams should have a very good, at least volume campaign. Very low risk, low rent, potential high reward. Keenan Allen, another aging wide receiver, and Ollie Gordon trying to, get some good run with these Miami Dolphins, being the tandem with a Devin off the A-Chain, and then DeAndre Hopkins. So I do see a lot of argument. I got some youth with Drake London and George Pickens, but I do got some veteran leadership here at my wide receiver spot. So this team is very good. I might have done a couple things differently. Maybe left Drake London, off the board at that point, took another running back. But overall, this team is definitely stout and ready to compete, and I do like it. So let's move on to this mock draft 8-team league, see what team we can get here. So for argument's sake, let's take pick number 4 in an 8-team league. A lot of y'all being like, why even bother with 8-team leagues? 8-team leagues, because now it's about skill set. Who are you going to start? Because every team is going to be loaded. So who can we pick and start to have the most points? And that's how you got to view this. Even in a 1-quarterback league, you got to understand. So here we go, man. Bijan Robinson is my first pick. And these, like I said, these teams are absolutely going to be loaded and stacked because it is only an 8-team league. And that's totally fine, man. If I get Josh Allen here, I'm so for it. So I'm talking about getting the top end points. That's what we're looking for out of an 8-team league, because the skill is going to come from who you're starting each and every week, man. Typically, I don't take quarterbacks this early, but we need all the points in the aggregate. That's what we're looking for, man. So now wide receiver Drake London. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Even though I was hoping for a little bit more high-end upside, that's okay. We Bijan, we got Josh Allen, we got a Drake London as our 1, 2, 3. Don't dislike that whatsoever. In an 8-team league as well, tight ends will matter. So this is going to happen for me. George Kittle, the people's tight end. I typically do not pick a tight end or quarterback this early, but in 8-team leagues, abso-freaking-lutely, I will buck all of what I say in 12 and 14-team leagues, because it is super important to get those top-end points. You want the guys who are going to hit massively for us. Alvin Kamara, high-end PPR upside. Even with a Spencer Rattler, I don't dislike, because you know the volume is going to be there. If they're losing games, you know Alvin Kamara is going to catch a boatload of PPR upside in this situation. Terry McLaurin, it does scare me so much. As we can get Deebo Samuel down the board, that much better for me. So I'm going to go and stack my running backs as well. Look how this fell for me again with an Omarion Hampton. Kind of funny, but again, so we got to look at value to return on investment. Terry McLaurin, let's just make it for argument's sake that he's going to come back, and hopefully I get Terry and a George Pickens on the way back. So we'll see how that does go. Terry missing a lot of camp time does scare me quite a bit. I will not lie to y'all, because it is a big-time problem for me. I don't like seeing guys sit out of camp, but we'll go Trevion Henderson as well. Where's George Pickens? Where's George Pickens? He's right there. Actually, I'm gonna go George. I can't pass it up. George is gonna have a monster season. There's another good flex option for me. We can come back. Hopefully, Trey falls in our lap in this situation, and the explosive playmaking ability of Trevion Henderson is right there as well. And I mean, this is what I'm saying. I could have went differently with a Drake London, but the way the board fell, Drake should put up massive numbers for us, and I don't dislike it at all. Jalen Waddle all the time. You know, I'm hoping for a resurgence for Waddle, but you see where I'm saying Debo and Kupp are down the board, Stephon Diggs down the board. There's a lot of potential upside for these gentlemen. Continuing to stack my running backs, even in 8-team leagues, because you're going to have a lot of these guys. And Aaron Jones, to me, is the, outside of injury, he's the primary dude to get a lot of work in this Vikings offense, especially with J.J. McCarthy. We'll see how it does shake down. Chris Olave, we'll see. I can't do it with an Alvin Kamara. That's the problem. He has been my, avoid player in wide receiver because of what the QB situation is. But, I mean, we're going this low in the 10th round. Don't dislike a Chris Olave at this point. You know what? I'll buck what I'm saying, even though I do like it, because I'm not going to take a Debo. Talking myself into this as well. I'm going to take a Chris Olave, even though I said do not draft him at his current ADP. 8-team leagues are definitely different in that respect as well. Brian Robinson, Travis Etienne, and we can still go down with J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, even a Zach Charbonnet, and like I said, with Austin Eckler down the board. Those are your running backs, and I only got 4 rounds left, so let's go a little bbit more. I already got my tight end in George Kittle as well. Cooper Kupp show, baby. Lots of PPR upside as well. We are talking full PPR league here with, an 8-team league. So a lot of the PPR upside is what we are looking for. Emeka Egbuka, love the potential skill set of Emeka, and I can still come back and likely get myself a Javonte Williams or J.K. Dobbins. So absolutely love the wide receiver show that I do got. And I cannot, because they took a J.K. And a Javonte right when I was talking. So there's Austin Eckler for us as well. High-end PPR upside for this man as well, and we can come down and get ourselves a Pittman, Downs, or even a Keon Coleman, who's getting a lot of praise with these Buffalo Bills at this point. I'm out on a Nick Chubb at this point. You want a hedge bet with Trevion Henderson and get yourself a Ramondre Stevenson? Don't dislike that either, but I like to spread it out just a little bit. Austin Eckler for the PPR upside. don't hate it whatsoever because that's what we're looking for. And I got a good stable of running backs, just in case somebody does go down. And at this point, I got so many wide receivers, don't really have to. So you even see in an 8-team league, it is extremely valuable to, continuously keep getting all of your running backs. Jaden Blue, I love me some Blue. He is dealing with an injury as well. So in this case, I'm going to go Braylon Allen. I think his season could absolutely be stellar with these New York Jets. So 8-team league for my dude, Joey. I got you covered, man. Josh Allen, Bijan, Alvin Kamara, Drake London. Don't really like the Atlanta stack with the wide receiver and running back, so kind of try to stay away from that because I don't really think Atlanta is going to be this, super high-octane offense this year, but at least we got the top players on that team. Scary Terry McLaurin would be absolutely a no-brainer had he not missed training camp, so maybe pivot from that one as well. George Kittle, like I said, in 8-team leagues, we got to get the top point getters, and the way that the 49ers offense is moving right now with all the injuries to the wide receivers, Kittle's going to have a massive target share this year. George Pickens, absolutely. I'm getting shares of this man everywhere I got to because his season's going to be stellar. Trevion Henderson, once again, finally getting my dude on this team. Aaron Jones still's got a lot of value. Know a lot of y'all are scared of a Jordan Mason. Don't be. Aaron Jones still is very good, even though he's over 30. He hasn't misstepped. They're just going to probably curtail some of his carries. Chris Olave, CO2. If Spencer Rattler can throw the football, CO2 is going to be just fine with another 1,000-yard season, but the concussions, quarterback issue, so that one's definitely... It was one of those situations I talked myself into it and probably am going to regret it later on. Cooper Kupp still got PPR upside up the wazoo. Emeka Egbuka, my dude. OSU, baby. He's going to have a monster season, especially with a Chris Godwin likely out 4 to 7 weeks. They didn't put him on the pup, but he's going to miss some time anyway. Austin Eckler, low-rent running back with high-end PPR upside with no more B-Rob. Absolutely sign me up. And a Braylon Allen at my last pick could be one of the biggest steals in fantasy this year, depending on how they want to do a Breece Hall. So yeah, that is your mock draft. I got two. I got in this one a little bonus 8-team league. I know a lot of y'all don't play on 8-team, but it does challenge how you are as a manager over the team you do draft because every team is loaded. So now it's about who do you start, and you got to start them right. So there you go, Joey. Hopefully I helped you out in that respect. But there you go. Nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What do you think of these mocks? Throw it in the comments and get your draft guide as draft week is going to be ramping up here for our fantasy drafts. I got you covered. But we'll see you next time. I am out.